2018 Toyota CHR SUV Review. The good points of Toyota CHR SUV. Hybrid efficiency. Concept car design. Engaging their driving. Comfortable and refined. Well equipped. The bad points of Toyota CHR SUV. Only 2 engines, without diesel. Not as practical as rivals. CVT auto not for everybody. Interior trimming very bold. May date quickly. The Toyota CHR can be a medium-sized crossover having a twist. Rather than build an evident Nissan Qashqai rival, considering the family-friendly traits that entails, Toyota has chosen to marry the chunky stance associated with an SUV that has a hybrid drivetrain, a sporting, swooping roofline along with the looks of, to be honest, the outlandish concept cars you sometimes see at motor shows. Watch, Toyota CHR long-term review. Watch, how to operate a vehicle, a Toyota hybrid. Watch, Toyota CHR represents VW truck. Watch, Toyota CHR versus Mini Countryman versus Audi Q2 versus Infiniti QX30 versus used Range Rover Evoque. Toyota CHR cars available for sale. Its extraordinarily bold exterior is married in an interior that has equally surprising elements and, to top it all, Toyota spent some time working hard to offer the CHR a bit more satisfying driving experience than we're familiar with from this fundamentally sensible Japanese manufacturer. In fact, Toyota describes the CHR to be a game changer for your company. The coupe-SUV combination isn't unusual currently, but Toyota could be the first to essentially bring this idea on the mainstream family crossover class, in many respects making the CHR a possible ideal follow-on car if you have outgrown the massively popular, similarly proportioned but much smaller Nissan Juke. Certainly, the CHR is usually a breath of clean air compared with more conventional rivals including the Qashqai, Renault Kadjar, Ford Kuga, Skoda Yeti and Kia Sportage, which also deserve a spot on your shortlist. Toyota is hoping buyers can even consider it a worthy rival to more premium alternatives, for example the VW truck, Audi Q2 and Mini Countryman, too. Compromised, or possibly is it? There are disadvantages towards the shape, certainly. Both rear headroom and boot space suffer. Electrical systems, along with the small volume of glass inside the rear doors, can result in younger backseat occupants complaining of claustrophobia once they're tall enough to know what your message means. And the trunk door handles are extremely high up about the door too, so that it is difficult to access the trunk with your hands full. Both of these issues may be blamed within the styling that also attacked a great number of buyers to your CHR. Still, you are able to get a number of adults inside the back 3 if they're really friendly. However, the middle seat is quite much of the rare persuasion, and even though smaller than rivals, the boot isn't tiny. It's a compromise you could be prepared to make should the rest with the package appeals. Novel Toyota CHR Hybrid particularly impressive. The CHR plays the foreign card with impressive conviction. To get a Toyota, plus the hybrid drivetrain is often a novelty inside the crossover sector. This combination of just 1.8-liter petrol engine and electric motor is borrowed from your latest Toyota Prius, as may be the vehicle platform the CHR is made upon. This may well not sound too promising, particularly in reference to your driving pleasure claims. But not only perform the Prius underpinnings provide the CHR lower than usual center of gravity for the crossover, the full project has become engineered in Europe for Europe, with particular attention paid to European driving habits. It's even been tested from the UK, so we think it is an incredibly impressive system. It's extremely smooth, quiet and simple to push, but moreover, it's capable or returning of the same quality, or else better, MPG than the usual diesel. In fact, in order to prove some colleagues wrong, one of many team aimed for that best fuel economy possible and beat Toyota's claimed 72.4 miles per gallon. Sign up to watch the report. Toyota CHR, low BIC for company car drivers. Thanks to your petrol-electric hybrid CHR's CO2 creation of 87 GkM, it becomes an SUV that company car drivers can consider. The benefit-in-kind tax technique is geared towards rewarding lower CO2 models, most notably cars using petrol in lieu of diesel. Limited engine choice, with no diesel. Around 75% of CHR buyers are hoped for to choose the hybrid. Any shock within this stat is lessened with the knowledge there is only one other engine choice at launch, a single 2-liter turbo petrol. Toyota will not be offering, and possesses no offers to offer, a CHR diesel. It's actually very likely we'll visit a higher performance petrol model further later on. Is the Toyota CHR 4x4? For now the 1.2 comes being a 6-speed manual with front-wheel drive as well as a CVT automatic that has a choice of front or all-wheel. As you move, the hybrid comes to be a front-wheel drive with similar auto box only. There are 3 trim levels, Icon, XL and Dynamic. All are well equipped, keeping the vehicle safe in technology heavily represented. The Toyota CHR Dynamic will be the most heavily customizable trim, having a colorful home design to match the futuristic exterior. What of a more powerful Toyota CHR? We think this really is highly likely. Toyota announced the 2018 Urus will have a choice from the 1.8-liter hybrid we're familiar with, or possibly a 2.0-liter system that's geared more towards keen drivers. The latter will in all probability find its way in the bonnet in the CHR inside the coming years. The company's spokespeople have stated that driver enjoyment is really a priority now, something that was sadly missing for most per-car Toyotas. Our colleagues at Car Magazine have likewise reported within the CHR high-power concept car, and that is an indication of circumstances to come. CHR is short for Coupé High Rider, that's straightforward enough. But could it be the game changer for Toyota, how the Japanese car maker hopes it? The verdict: we've been very impressed using the CHR. It's a compelling combination: low running costs, and engaging drive and family practicality. That's not to bring up the benefits in the 5-year warranty and Toyota's famed reliability. You have experienced above, which it was the new car from the year in 2017, and during our extended test in the car we've found which it's an excellent proposition as being a family car together with being fun there driving and great on fuel. Watch on for that full in-depth Toyota CHR review. Hybrid produces more torque but 1.2 more fulfilling. Clever manual transmission, noisy automatic. Don't use all-wheel drive. Power output on the 2 engines available within the Toyota CHR is extremely similar. The 1.2-liter turbo produces 116 horsepower. The 1.8-liter petrol-electric hybrid a combined 122 horsepower. Watch how drive an automobile a Toyota hybrid, as this means that performance is additionally evenly matched, with 0.62 miles per hour within the hybrid taking 11.0 seconds, even though the 1.2 requires 10.9 seconds in the most basic and fastest front-wheel drive, manual gearbox guys. The automatic and four-wheel drive automatic versions in the 1.2 are slightly slower, yet not so much that you'd notice day-to-day. Electric torque counts. However, since the electric motor produces 163 Nm of instant torque, almost as much as the 1.2-liter engine, and that's prior to a motor's 1.8-liter petrol partner makes its contribution. Once you're within the move, the hybrid often feels greater responsive choice. In some cases the 1.2 feels gutless. Keep the revs up, though, and you'll discover the smaller petrol an eager companion. It even creates a pleasantly keen noise. Combined together with the standard manual gearbox, this ultimately helps it be the most engaging CHR if you want to go fast. 2 interesting transmissions. The basic 1.2 could be the only CHR that comes having a manual gearbox, yet this isn't quite your family 6-speed. Toyota calls it the intelligent manual transmission IMT, given it cleverly matches the engine revs once you change gear for making both upshifts and downshifts smoother. It also increases engine torque when quitting a standstill for your same reason. Both features work almost imperceptibly, but adequately. The automatic offered on other versions, for example the hybrid, is usually a continuously variable transmission. As is typical for any CVT, that is smooth. Nevertheless, the engine noise often doesn't correspond with all the speed you might be driving, which could be a strange sensation initially, sounding rather as should the clutch is slipping. We are able to see very little value in opting to the all-wheel drive option within the 1.2. This isn't an off-road vehicle, as well as in regular road driving, that you are unlikely to view much benefit. CHR meant to improve Toyota's handling image. Very well controlled within the corners, especially for the crossover. Steering delivers little feedback but good accuracy. Currently Toyota doesn't have a good name for building keen drivers' cars, however it would like to change this. So to the CHR, a model which was conceived exclusively for that European market, it offers expended a substantial amount of effort seeking to understand European driving traits and ways in which they influence the creation of vehicles in the region's brands. The end result can be a Toyota which is much more satisfying from in the driver's seat. What helps make the CHR a much better Toyota they are driving? Attention to detail plus a positive attitude, essentially. And by positive attitude we mean it changes direction with keenness, in lieu of the reluctance you feel in, say, a Toyota Auris. To make this amendment that has a vehicle on the CHR's increased tide is impressive, and shows how seriously Toyota intends to take driver involvement in the future. As for that attention to detail, that is evident inside the consistent behavior of all of the handling elements. The steering isn't overbrimming with feel and feedback, however it transitions very smoothly into cornering, with little with the numbness concerning the straight ahead you regularly experience with electrically assisted systems. Similarly, the suspension's damping is great, besides doing a good job of absorbing bumpy roads effectively and also controlling the way the CHR leans into turns, tilting gently as opposed to lurching. Toyota says it turned out aiming to provide you with the handling enthusiasm of a competent hatchback. We'd hesitate to look quite that far in isolation. Nevertheless, for an SUV it acquits itself commendably, and may be placed about the road with great accuracy. Which version handles best? The hybrid carries excess fat, especially at the front end, therefore it isn't quite as sharp to push as the 1.2. If you want a CHR that's fun using abroad, we'd find the 1.2 using the manual transmission. Bold interior won't be for every individual. It truly is functional and straightforward to use. Satanov could possibly be clearer. In many respects, the inside with the CHR is a bit more extraordinary compared to outside, again, especially for just a Toyota. Not only could be the dashboard noticeably angled on the driver, it feels rather lower plus much more spacious than you frequently find in crossovers. But most prominent of all will be the Toyota Touch 2 infotainment screen, standard on every model, which sits proud with the leading edge with the dashboard in a very distinctive asymmetrical frame. While this is usually a detail that appears to be lifted straight from your original CHR concept car, it functions well in reality, placing what is really a generously large screen high up inside the driver's eyeline, which makes it easy to check without looking too far from your road. The bezel has fixed, touch-sensitive controls for usability, and we're happy to report these are generally responsive and frustration-free. Satin is standard from Middler Anking Excel trim. This has some neat features but struggled with clarity when challenged by Spain's, admittedly often complex, road systems within the initial launch event. Diamonds everywhere. Much in the exterior is shaped for making you imagine diamonds, and reinforcing this message there can be a diamond motif over the interior, in the shape with the button clusters about the steering wheel and below the infotainment screen for the unusual cutouts inside roof lining. It provides CHR a design consistency that's often been lacking from Toyota interiors. Won't be for all. Toyota has taken a bit of a risk using the CHR's interior, however. The design is really bold, which will potentially delay more conservative buyers, particularly when dressed while using bright blue and dusky purple trim standard within the top-spec dynamic model. More muted options are available. We just like the layered design on the dashboard along with the diamond pattern door inserts, even if these are generally rather not easy to the touch. But it is possible to large swathes of bland-looking plastics, which they make the intricacies elsewhere seem just a little tokenistic. Toyota did development work inside UK. CHR refers to bumpy surface as well. Both versions are quiet and refined. Toyota has been doing development work about the car here within the UK, and promises that this particular challenge of the roads continues to be taken into account. Comfortable ride. Indeed, within the rougher sections we've up to now encountered, the shock absorbers exhibited a superb ability to cope with bumps quickly and comfortably. The CHR's platform continues to be reinforced in key areas with all the aim of which makes it especially rigid, which assists in these circumstances. It does also make to get a rather heavy vehicle, though, with even the most rudimentary 1.2-liter model weighing 1,320 kilograms, as well as the hybrid 60 kilograms more. Our only criticism here is which the CHR does shake laterally very slightly when driving over straight bumpy roads. This is really a result in the relatively thick anti-roll bars. Thus it's a trade-off between handling and ride comfort, but it really is also not much of a big grounds for concern. Fundamentally this isn't a less than comfortable car. Refinement. Once operational, both versions from the CHR are quiet around the move, with even limited volume of wind and road noise especially, depending about the surface making the engine almost imperceptible. The hybrid can, however, work on electric power alone in short distances, passing it on the ultimate advantage in this particular area, particularly useful when you have sensitive neighbors but often must leave home early or return late. It is whisper quiet in EV electric vehicle mode. Which wheel dimensions are best? We spoke to one of many chief development engineers, who reckoned the heavier hybrid was best on 17-inch wheels, as the sportier 1.2 enjoyed 18-inch wheels. The hybrid felt slightly softer overall to us, so don't think there's major grounds for worry in either case, and that is good news provided that all even so the entry-level trim feature 18-inch alloys as standard. The Toyota CHR launches with 3 trim level choices, Icon, XL and Dynamic. Here's the way they fare for standard equipment. Standard Toyota CHR equipment. Highlight standard equipment about the Toyota CHR Icon. Dual zone climate control. 17-inch alloys. Toyota Touch 2 infotainment. Front fog lights. Rain sensing windscreen wipers. Auto dimming rear view mirror. Additional highlight standard equipment around the Toyota CHR XL. Partial leather seats, with heating inside the front. Keyless entry. Parking sensors. 18-inch alloy wheels. Electric folding door mirrors. SatNav and 3-year online services subscription. The Toyota CHR Dynamic upgrades this further with metallic paint with contrast black roof. Different 18-inch alloy wheels. LED headlamps and fog lights. Purple upholstery fabric. Toyota CHR, optional extras. The Icon might be upgraded with tech, leather and premium packs, rogues including both leather as well as a specially developed 9-speaker JBL speakers that's also optional around the higher trim levels. All versions can be purchased with Sport and SUV packs, the previous adding a light body kit, these sidebars and faux underbody protection. The protection pack adds mud flaps, rear bumper protector, boot liner and front scuff plates. Finally, there can be a number of entertainment packs, providing various front seat back docking choices for iPads, DVD players along with the like, potentially perfect for keeping your children quiet on the long journey and distracting them through the lack of light being released in through the tiny rear windows. A Toyota Safety Sense package is roofed as standard on all versions with the CHR. This means every example sold features pre-collision system with autonomous emergency braking and pedestrian recognition. Lane departure warning easily put off via button about the steering wheel if you get the beeping annoying. Traffic sign recognition, displays signs and speed limits from the instrument cluster. Automatic high beam operation. From mid-range XL trim upwards, this additional safety products are also fitted as standard. Blind spot monitors, searches for vehicles as part of your blind spots. Rear cross traffic alert, detects approaching traffic when you're reversing to generate it easier to emerge from parking spaces. Lane change assist, nudges the leader if you seek to change lane without indicating, again it is easily powered down if you don't as if we don't. There will also be no under 8 airbags on every CHR. The 2 more unusual items as a driver's knee airbag plus a seat cushion airbag for that front passenger, in addition to the obligatory electronic stability control. All in the above would be the reason Euro NCAP scored the CHR its highest award for crash test performance. Watch, Toyota CHR SUV Euro NCAP crash test video. Small boot. Rear visibility not great. You only should look with a roof line in the CHR to see which it won't be as practical since many crossovers. Its footprint is small even so the CHR can be hard to see out with the back of. Acoustic parking sensors come standard on mid-spec models. Electrically powered folding door mirrors are standard over the range. So much so, that after all this in time Toyota only lists slots capacity figure for your boot with rear seats constantly in place, possibly at 377 liters that is only just competitive with a lot of family hatchbacks. The Nissan Qashqai crams in 430 liters, some 53 liters more. The CHR's rear seats do fold. But in case you're considering taking it to IKEA, you should be aware how the resulting load area isn't flat, as there's a large lip between boot floor as well as the back on the seats. This is presumably partially down for the hybrid variant, which stores the batteries for your electric motor under the back seats. On the plus side, this implies the hybrid has all the boot space since the non-hybrid, and due to a relatively low seating position for just a crossover, there is certainly still a reasonable volume of headroom from the rear, and 4 average-sized adults should fit inside without an excessive amount of complaint. The rear middle seat can be a perfunctory effort, only suitable for brief journeys. The seating position is higher than inside the platform-sharing Prius, however, and that means you do still receive a more commanding view on the road inside the front. In the back you'll chose the windows small, so the spine is somewhat dark. Over-the-shoulder visibility to the driver is compromised for your same reason. Interior storage ranges at a generous glove box and deep cup holders for backseat passengers to strangely shallow entryway pockets that may result in items escaping during vigorous cornering.